Niranjanam Nityamanantarupam Bhakta Nukampadhita Vigraham Vai Ishavataram Parameshamidam Tang Ramakrishnam Shirashanama. I'm very glad to be with you today and this and to Anindita and to children for joining in this beautiful evening prayer. I hope that they will be practicing more and will be singing more and more bhajans and to please everyone. Okay. And thank you all for joining. Just you know who is Ramakrishna, who Ramakrishna we worship. There's nothing new, and what new I shall say. But it is more than lecture or talk to see each one's face and to feel a one type of presence. And Sri Ramakrishna is the uniting force which brings us together. Now, it is a question that normally comes, the worship, we worship Ramakrishna. But is it Ramakrishna becoming like a cultist? There are many cults. Cult means I belong to this group. This is my religion. And you are a different one. So I am going in one path. I have no connection with you. That is the conventional idea of spiritual traditions. That's why even Hinduism, not that it is a fault that we have different denominations, different ways of looking at the truth, but there is differences and one does not go along with others. Suppose the Krishna devotees will not go too much for the Mother Kali devotees. Of course, this distinction is gradually wiping out, and that is because of Ramakrishna. This point is that what Ramakrishna, even are we worshipping Ramakrishna? So another cult, another new group of people are being generated. We say we are Ramakrishna followers. What is this Ramakrishna followers means? And actually, which Ramakrishna we worship? Is it like a person, or we look upon him as an avatar or special avatar, or is a avatar, my avatar versus your avatar? My avatar is greater than your avatar. Always that is the distinction and fight comes. That's why, Krishna's to Bhagavan Swayam, Bhagavad Gita has been written. In a context, Krishna is just God himself, nothing other than God. And as a result, people think that, oh, Krishna is the only way. And Krishna means what? That Krishna who stands with his flute in hand and playing and dancing or singing or whatever the concept of Krishna, that Krishna. And that Krishna has certainly special features which Shiva has not. Shiva is Nataraj dancing, and Shiva is destruction dance. Shiva is sometimes absorbed in samadhi. That's a Shiva nature. It is a Krishna nature. And now, again, you are adding a new name. It is called the Ramakrishna nature. What is that one? Is it something, a new cult or new generation or what? And what does it mean? Is it to create another division among 330 million gods and goddesses in another edition of that? We have to understand, because Sri Ramakrishna came for a special purpose. Sri Ramakrishna is the harmonizer of all religions, and in Sri Ramakrishna, everyone is there in Sri Ramakrishna. That universality, that is Sri Ramakrishna we worship. And that universality is that we have to keep in mind. Ramakrishna said that Advaita Gyan Achale Vede Jai Chakar. Do whatever you like. Put your Advaitic knowledge with you, and then on that background, do whatever you like. If the Advaita background, non-dual aspect of the divine as Sri Ramakrishna is forgotten, then it becomes a cult again. We don't want to make a cult, and Ramakrishna didn't come for that. Many cults are necessary, But fundamental point we have to remember that it is to go beyond all cult, beyond all duality, where there will be only absolute reality, which is all bliss and joy, where everyone can be converged into one unity. And that unity is the joy, bliss, and peace which we are seeking for throughout our life. So, here, that's why this evening prayer we do, that can help us to understand who is Ramakrishna, that whom we worship. We worship Ramakrishna. We take some flowers and put some incense and we put some fruits and candies before Ramakrishna. But which Ramakrishna? Is he a man? There is a song Swami Premeshananda sang, that he sang, কেহ বলে তুমি সাধক প্রধান, কেহ বলে তুমি সাধক প্রধান, কেহ দেয় তোমা দেবতার মান, আমি গৌরব সব ত্যাজিয়ে দিয়েছি, হৃদয়ে আসন দান, আপনি করিলে আপনার পূজা, আপনার স্তুতি গান, ভবতারিণীর পূজারি ঠাকুর, তুমি হে আমার প্রাণ, তুমি হে আমার. So this is Premeshananda, a knower of truth. He understood Sri Ramakrishna in this way. The Bhavatarinir Pujari. People used to go to see Dakshineshwar, used to see a Pujari, a priest. There are priests even today in every temple. Ramakrishna was a priest. Keho Bale, he is a Pujari of Dakshineshwar Makali's priest, whose salary is 7 rupees per month. He is always running after the prasad, what should come. And one day he didn't come. He was saying, hey, where is my share? And then somebody misunderstood that. That, oh, he's a Brahmin, so he cannot give up his Brahminic characteristics of taking his share. But he said, no, no. Rani Rasmani has established this center of worship so that it will go for the good devotees and lovers of God. They will take this prasad. And then her mission will be fulfilled. So it will purify the heart if it goes to them. That's why he used to bring the prasad. He won't touch, but he will give it to the devotees who come and think of God to enhance their spirituality he used to do. So some people thought that he is no other, but what is he? He is a sadhaka, is a Pujari Thakur. Bhavatarinir Pujari Thakur. You are the Pujari, the worshipper, priest of Bhavatarini Dakshineshwar Ma Kali. Keho dai tumar devotar man. There are some people, they say, no, no, no. Sri Ramakrishna is not original. He is not ordinary. He is not an ordinary person you see. Not ordinary priest. He is a spiritual person. He is almost like a god. There are different gods. Devi-as are there in Hindu pantheon. So he is like one of them. It's called Kehodai Tomar Devota Arman. Some rank you that you are like gods. Like how many gods are there? Surya Devata, Chandra Devata, Varun Devata, Agni Devata. All these names we find and we worship also. So he, though he is human, but he is not that. But he is something more. He is a Devata. But I couldn't understand you. Premeshananda says, Swami says, I could not understand who are you. Therefore, I have given my heart and soul to you. কেহ দেয় তোমার দেবতার প্রাণ, আমি গৌরব সব ত্যাজিয়ে দিয়েছি. I don't want your গৌরব. Gauram means adjectives, qualities. He is such. The Sikh people used to come to Ramakrishna. They used to praise God. Oh God, you have done so much. And Brahmins also praise God. God is so big. God is, oh, what a compassionate God. He said, why are you praising like him? God is our own. He is our father. If he has brought us into the world, does not take care of us, give all these facilities, what type of father is he? So there is another explanation. I don't get into those qualities. Ramakrishna is a man, Ramakrishna is a God, Ramakrishna is so powerful, extraordinary. I don't find any characteristics of Ramakrishna. Those qualities are not Ramakrishna. He is, it's a Gaurava. Gaurava is which gives him greatness, his significance, his majesty to the others. I don't look upon Ramakrishna in that perspective, but how I look upon? I look upon him as my heart and soul, and I have given my everything unto him. And you are who you are. Another aspect he understood, that he said that Premishananda Swami said that you are worshipping whom? You are worshipping yourself. Apuni korile apunar puja. You yourself, you are worshipping Makali. Who is Makali? Then go to the whole philosophy of Shakto philosophy. Makali is what? Brahman is useless. Useless in the sense, in our usable world. It is Brahman. It does not move. It does not stand. It does not cry. It does not smile. It is. It is called Brahman is. It is Satchidananda. Huh? That's absolute consciousness, bliss, and joy, no peace. That is the Satchidananda. But who is Shakti? Mother Kali. Who is Kali? Kali is the power through which this whole universe in which we live, see, around, we feel, experience, that is Makali. But who is Makali? Is that Makali separate from Brahman? Ramakrishna himself solved this problem and gave this response. It's not different. It is the same Brahman. Shakti is inherent power of Brahman. Sometimes the power manifests as Shakti and sometimes not. Given the example, sometimes the snake does not move, and sometimes the snake moves. When it moves, then wriggling sound and then wriggling motion, this is the creation in which we are living. Creation, destruction is coming, it's going, its achievement, its failures, its frustrations, everything is. Who created all this? It is Mother, it is the Shakti. Huh? Primordial power, they call primordial power Shakti. So now this Shakti is nothing but, Sri Ramakrishna says, nothing but Brahman. Brahman and Shakti are one and the same. So this Sri Ramakrishna said, in the Swami Premishananda says, that you are a worshipper of Makali. But Makali is who? Makali is the primordial Shakti. She is everything. She is by whose power everything is moving in the universe. No? Remember that story of Swami Vivekananda, Naren, and going to Sri Ramakrishna asking for solving his worldly problems of suffering and troubles. And Sri Ramakrishna inspired him to go to Mahakali and ask. That is Mahakali. Just I'm giving to idea of Mahakali, I'm citing this example. Then you all know, Holy Sri Ramakrishna then send him, go. Today is a good day. And you, Mother's Day, you go and pray. Whatever you will pray, you will get it. Just go and ask her. She is waiting. You don't accept my mother. First accept that she is there. So go and ask her. First of all, on persistence, and he went. And you know what happened? He could not ask for anything material. Why? As soon as he entered into that temple and saw Mother Kali, it is no more a stone statue. It is not Dakshina Kali. It is made of stone or Astadhatu or whatever. It is stone. So it is not what it is. Instead, Swami Naren saw it's a living personality, Mother, living, and as the eyes are blinking, Mother Divine present, and from her body, luminous light is radiating and is full of bliss and joy, embodiment of joy and bliss. And seeing that, he forgot what is purpose of coming to the temple, because he does not like this Makali. Swami Vivekananda said later on, how I used to hate Makali. But ultimately, Sri Ramakrishna injected that Makali into me and drove me all over the world and not giving me rest at all. So this is Makali. And then second time, same thing happened. Third time, same thing happened. And then Ramakrishna blessed him. Okay, what can I do? You have no worldly enjoyment possible in your life. So you have not that luck. So, but you will not lack in coarse food and coarse clothing. Money ordinary, just hand to mouth situation will go on. No one will suffer for that. But that is not important. Then afterwards we find that Sri Ramakrishna teaching him the song. Matanghi tara, amar matanghi tara, tumi triguno dhara, parat para, matanghi tara. O mother, O Tara, O mother Tara, Tvam, you are Tanghi Tara, tumi triguna dhara. You have taken the three gunas, Satya, Rajas and Tamas. Taking that, you have created the whole universe. See what a philosophy. What is Makali? I am just trying to understand now. Through this song, Ramakrishna taught him the highest truth. Ma tanghi tara, tumi triguna dhara. Again, parat para. You are higher than the highest, superior than the superior. It is beyond the name and form, beyond all qualities and gunas. Triguna dhara, parat para, matanghi tara. Then, so you are transcendental. Again, you are in the three gunas. And you are permeated into it. You are permeated into everything. Tumi jale, tumi sthale, tumi addo mule goma, acho sarva ghate, argo pute, sakar akar, nirakarama, tangi tara. What? What a Makali? Tumi sakar, akar, nirakara, tanghi tara. You are sakar, whatever is within the name and form. The akar, wherever is shape and size. And nirakara, which is transcendental, beyond any akar, any form, any name. You are that. And you are in the waters. Tumi jale. Tumi sthale. You are in the land. Tumi addamule. You are the root of everything. Addamule goma. Aso sarva ghate. You are residing in every heart. And that is the Makali's definition. And the entire song, I am not going, but if you see that every word, if you meditate upon that, then you understand what is Makali has been depicted by Sri Ramakrishna and brought this concept into the mind, injected that idea in the heart of Swami Vivekananda, future Vivekananda. That is Makali. And now, Premishananda Swami is saying, Apani korile aponar puja. You are doing your puja. Ramakrishna worshipping Makali. We see Ramakrishna is a pujari, Brahmin, Khudiram's son, and seeking for some job. And here he got a good job and he is performing some priestly activity. No, you are worshipping aponi korile aponar. You are worshipping yourself. You have become in one segment like Ramakrishna. You, same, the Divine Mother, become the worshipper and the worshipped. Worshipper and worshipped, same. So you are worshipping whom? Yourself. Apuni kurile apunar puja. And you are praising, oh mother, do this, do that. All the prayers of Ramakrishna, you go read the Gospel of Ramakrishna. You find so many beautiful prayers are given there. And there what he say? You are everything, oh mother. Huh? Then, oh ma, give me gyan, give me bhakti. Who you are asking? Who you are craving for? You are asking to yourself. As if, aka তুমি হয়েছ দ্বিধা. There is a song, Kali Kirtan. একা তুমি হয়েছ দ্বিধা পরম পুরুষ প্রকৃতি নারী. একা, you are only one, but you have become divided. As happened, Parama Purusha, supreme consciousness, and Purusha, the human personality, as male, female, and everything. And you are in the water, you are in the land, you are in the sky, you are in the heart of all. That is the Mahakali concept. And here, Premeshananda Swami describing you are doing your worship. So this is a idea about Ramakrishna. And all, everywhere, we know the evening chanting, which is just now, we sang that song, Khandana Bhava, no? Every day we sing. There we find the definition, who is Ramakrishna? Who is Ramakrishna we worship? If we worship Ramakrishna only as a man, as we do our worship, with the idea we worship, we get the benefit according to our thought. If you think that he is a Brahmin priest, he can give you what a Brahmin priest could give you. If you think him as a divine entity God, you will get the godly characteristic. If you think him that he is the Mahashakti, then you will get the power Mahashakti. If you think he is Brahman absolute, you become Brahman, one with Brahman. Spiritual life is what? Is to tune our mind into higher consciousness. But Sri Ramakrishna stands here uniquely as an embodiment of all spiritual ideals and all the different plateaus of spiritual journey, from different levels of journey. So Ramakrishna is this, Ramakrishna is that. Every worship anyone does, they do worship Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna, the absolute. Ramakrishna, who is the Parama Purusha, who is the supreme Purusha. Ramakrishna, the Mother Kali, manifested. Ramakrishna, the transcendental. So that is the Ramakrishna. And this has been uniquely designed by Swami Vivekananda in his unique composition, what we say every time, Khandana Bhava Bandhana, which he did today itself. What does it say? We pray. We pray to Ramakrishna. This is Ramakrishna's praise, no? Every day. That's why during Arati, they wave the lamp and you sing this song. So you are adoring Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna you are worshipping. What Ramakrishna? Here comes Swami Vivekananda to give us this clarity that don't think Ramakrishna in another way. Think of Ramakrishna in this perspective. That he can break Khandana Bhava Bandhana, all our bondage. What is the bondage? Bondage of lust and greed, bondage of attachment, bondage of our anger, pride, all these human imperfections. So he is there. He can just cut asunder, like a chopper, taking it in the hand, you chop one piece of wood into two. So this tie, Chit Jala Ganthi, it is in the scripture, it is said that Chit and Jala, consciousness and matter, they have got mixed together. And it is giving opposite concept. What is Chit? What is consciousness? That we don't see that. That is, we don't see God anywhere. We see the matter only. But there is no matter, it is only consciousness. So But Sri Ramakrishna has the power just to cut asunder that bond, that tie, so that Chit becomes separate from Jada. And in that consciousness, one finds Ramakrishna stands there smiling as the supreme bliss and supreme joy, supreme blessings to all. See, Khandana Bhava Bandhana. That's why we are praying, O Ramakrishna, you are the breaker of this world's chain. You can break this chain. And you are, that's why adored. Jagabandhana. Here, Jagabandhana. Everyone is not worshipping Ramakrishna. Why is it Jagabandhana? Swami Vivekananda out of emotion? No. Every worship in every temple, in every church, in every mosque, it is worship of Ramakrishna. Because Ramakrishna is not a man. Ramakrishna is the principle. Ramakrishna is the God who is called God in hundreds and thousands of names of gods and goddesses and all these spiritual traditions. They are worshipping Ramakrishna. Think, make your Ramakrishna big. Don't finish it with a small photograph. Not the man Ramakrishna, but the infinite who manifested to this man Ramakrishna. Looks like a human being, but he's not human. To that human being, infinite glory of God, infinite spirituality, infinite purity, love, compassion, holiness, just come out of that. So that is the Ramakrishna, is a Jagabandhana. Tare arati kare chandra tapana deva manava mande charana ashina shei vishwa sharane taro jagat mandire. My voice is gone. So anyway, that song is not the point. Point is that Tare arati kare chandra tapana. What small lamp you will take and wave around 5 weeks lamp. The stars and galaxies and the moon and sun, they are waving, O Ramakrishna. They are waving like that. You are worshipped by the Jagat, the whole world. Whatever name they call, that is Sri Ramakrishna. We have to open our eyes to think Ramakrishna's vastness, infinitude, in which everything is embraced there. It is not that who comes to our center and in the photograph only waves the lamp. Who is doing in a Krishna temple, he is doing Ramakrishna. Who is doing in the Kali temple, he says Ramakrishna. Because he is the manifested form and he is the unmanifested absolute, infinite, Satchidananda. So that is the way we have to think about Ramakrishna. And Niranjana. Everything in the world has a blemish. There is and because it is under Maya, that pure, absolute Satchidananda, with the Maya, takes a human form. But taking human form, even, is Ni Anjana, blemish. There is no Kalima, Niranjana. But he has taken a human form, which is impossible. With a human form, we'll have human imperfections. But really, to find imperfection, godly perfection, Sri Ramakrishna stands unique there. You can't find in his character a blemish, a spot, spotless. Tagir Raja is the king of all renunciates. Holy Mother said, what is the speciality of Ramakrishna? Many people will say, speciality of Ramakrishna is Sarva Dharma Samannaya. But Holy Mother said, no, it is purity. The world has not seen such perfection and purity. Tyago, renunciation. We have not heard of anywhere. God is full of is total renunciation, then total absorption in God. We have heard this. But we never saw that someone touching a coin in the body, his body, he will feel this scorpion biting, pain in his body. So this is uniqueness, spotless. Tyago, Vairagya. What is the treasure of Ramakrishna? Ramakrishna said in one place, if anyone thinks of me, he will get my treasure. As a son inherits father's wealth. So, if one thinks of Ramakrishna, what will he attain? Ramakrishna himself put that question. He will inherit my treasure. What is my treasure? He then went on. What is my treasure? Bhakti, Vivek, Vairagya, Jnana, Tyaga. These are the treasures. And automatically, thinking of me, they will get it. So we have to think of him. Even we don't understand. Mahapurush Maharaj, Shivananda Maharaj used to say, look at the picture of Ramakrishna. It is human, but not human. Everything looks like us, but he is not. Everything only manifesting that absolute purity, absolute blissfulness. The face is always shining with infinite joy, infinite power and strength. So here, Niranjana, he is Niranjan, spotless. At the same time, Naro Rupo Dhara. Naro Rupo Dharan means he taking human birth. Niranjan, very difficult. But here, Sri Ramakrishna is that we worship, who is Niranjan, spotless, purity, embodied purity, and Nararup still have a form where we can focus our mind. We cannot focus our mind in absolute Brahman, how much we say. Our mind has the limiting capacity. We cannot think of higher than that. So it is said, Niranjana Nararupodhara. And you are Nirguna. Nirguna means there is beyond guna. In our Vedanta, we always hear the three gunas the world made, Satya, Rajo, Tama, and truth remains beyond the three gunas. So it's beyond the three gunas, and again, gunamaya. You are like a father. You see Ramakrishna's life with a guna of Sattvika guna all manifested. Love, compassion, holiness, purity, sympathy for humanity, whoever is suffering. What a compassion. All the actors and actresses, particularly the actress of Girish's place, they are coming. Sri Ramakrishna is so much full of compassion, accepting them, giving them a direction, and what spiritual attainment they attain afterwards, after meeting Sri Ramakrishna. That's why it is Nirguna, though he cannot be comprehended by our any measure, but is the Gunamaya, has become embodied with gunas. And Mochana Agadushana. Ramakrishna can mochan, can wipe out the dushan, the pollution of agha. Agha means pap, the sin. What is sin? Sin is ignorance. Not knowing God, not knowing ourselves, and forgetting God, and being involved into the world day and night, and suffering because of that attachment and aversion. Mochana, Aghadushana. But he is Chid Jagabhushana. Why Jagabhushana? Because he's the treasure in the whole world. We have to treasure that by which our own suffering and problem will be abolished. So that is we worship him to attain to that bhushan. Bhushan means the wealth or treasure, or you can say the uh, costly ornament, bhushan. But he is, then what is he? He is Chit Ghanakai. Second line of our Mochana Agadushana Jagabhushana Chit Ghanakaya. We have to think of Ramakrishna as what is he? Ghana means condensed. Kaya means the body. His body is not made of flesh and bone, but as if it is made of Chit, Chaitanya, consciousness, made of bliss. Like, you take 5 pounds of milk and then you boil it. What happens? The watery part goes away. Then what happens? You call it what? Kheer, no? Kheer. Bangalira kheer bolbe. But others will say kheer, no? Do you get it? You're not sending yes. Yes. So that is a condensed, only pure essential Satchidananda as if standing behind you, standing before you. It is condensed Chetana, condensed Satchidananda Sarupa. It is to meditate on Ramakrishna in this way. That is the worship we want to do. Not a man, not a god. Gods and goddesses cannot enter there. He is beyond that range, beyond the 7 sages meditating. He is beyond that. It is unfathomable. We cannot touch. That's why he has come down, descended. Nararupadhara. He has taken a form, come down by his own grace. It is difficult, very difficult, to bring the mind down from that level of consciousness. But out of compassion, he came down as an embodiment of all consciousness. Chit, Ghana, Kaya. Kaya means the body. Ghana means the condensed form of Chit, Chaitanya. Chaitanya, Ghanibhuta Chaitanya. Concentrated consciousness, concentrated bliss. That's why we find in Ramakrishna nothing but bliss and joy all the time. Joy, unending joy. And what is he? Bhaswara Bhabusagar. He's the light of all spiritual moods. You get into one spiritual mood, you will reflect certain characteristic. You go to the Krishna temple, really those who are singing and dancing in the name of Krishna, when they get intoxicated, you look at their body, at their expression of the face, beaming with joy. Something comes out, which normally it does not. But on the special occasion, it happens. So it is, Ramakrishna is Bhasara, is bright and luminous. Of what? Bhavasagar. Not one mood, one ecstasy, one way. Moods are so many moods. He goes into the childlike mood, Shanto mood, Tasso, master servant mood, friend, Shakha, Vatsalya, I'm child, with Gopalir Ma. He's like a baby Gopal. Mood. He has become like a Gopala. Read the life of Ramakrishna, then compare these things, then we'll understand whom we actually trying to worship. Otherwise, what will happen? People can worship the same God. With their attitude, they get the desired result. What is the attitude? So they will have to think that what I want from this Ramakrishna. If you want absolute joy, then that Ramakrishna, you have to think that he is the ocean. He is the Bhava Sagara. Sagara means the ocean. Ocean of all spiritual moods. Those who are worshipping Krishna, those who are worshipping Christ, those who are worshipping Rama, those who are worshipping, you can find in Ramakrishna all of them in one place. A whole day, how many moods used to keep? we see that the people from Sikh community coming, and when Sikh community devotee is coming, Sri Ramakrishna is totally behaving like their Guru Nanak, and his mood, his talk, his behavior is becoming like that. It's a mood, and mood changes again. That's why the famous story is there that when the Belur Math, they wanted to have one statue, which is now Murti. In the Belur Math temple, we have the Murti. So when it was done, it was on the preparation. The artist was doing that. So everyone requested Swami Brahmananda. That's Swami, you are his spiritual son. So you please go and approve that statue, whether it's perfect to what is Ramakrishna like. And you see the response, beautiful response. Swami Brahmananda immediately said, Ramakrishna, which Ramakrishna you are talking about? Which Ramakrishna we are talking about, that I'll go and check whether the statue is in that. He used to go to hundreds of moods. In which mood he will look totally different. No? So which Ramakrishna you want me to check on? That means you look at the read of Ramakrishna's life. He is when he is worshipping in the form of Hanuman. What happened? His look does not look the same way. He was jumping. He made a tail of his cloth like that and hanging on the trees, like the monkeys do. He is Ramakrishna, but he is in the mood of Hanumanji, Mahavir. That is the mood then. He is worshipping in the mood of Radha. Look at him and his look and his behavior. It's all like Radharani, ecstatic love for Krishna. So, which mood you want? But he is the mood, all moods. He is the embodiment of all moods. This is a unique thing to think about. That's why anyone from any tradition can find peace in Ramakrishna. Because Ramakrishna will be appearing to them in that way. When the Vaishnava devotees come, we read in the Gospel Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna got intoxicated into the mood of the Krishna mood. Some mother worshippers are coming. Ramakrishna starts singing about mother song and Durga song and Kali song like that. His mood is changing, and this mood is the spiritual mood which makes them very special. To see Sri Ramakrishna in absolute mood is the Brahman mood. There only breathless situation. Body is like a dead body, no reaction. But other time you find that he is acting like an embodiment of one spiritual tradition. What was in Sri Chaitanya? You can find a Sri Chaitanya in Ramakrishna. You can find a Christ in Sri Ramakrishna. You can find a Buddha in Ramakrishna. You can find Shiva in Ramakrishna. You can find Ma Kali in Ramakrishna. You can find Ma Durga in Ramakrishna. And there are ample examples. If we read the life very in detail, then we find that there are examples some devotees saw in that way. Remember, on the day in Shampukur, when in Shampukur, he was Kali Puja night. There is no image, there is no painting or nothing. But everyone organized the Ma Kali items to worship. And when the time came, Ramakrishna was worshipped as Ma Kali. That means his mood changed accordingly. Read that portion, you'll find that Sri Ramakrishna is that mood. That's why it's the ocean of all moods, Bhava Sagar. And he is the Unmada. Unmada means passionate, mad. meant for prema pathar, as if the welling, swelling of the love in the infinite ocean of consciousness, as if love has swollen like a big wave to embrace whoever is seeking for anything in spiritual life. Unmada prema pathar. And he has been manifested Jimbito Juga Ishvara, as the Ishvara, the Lord of this age. Jimbito means manifested, Prakashito. He has been manifested in the form of the Juga Ishvara, the age, the Ishvara, the God of this age. This age, he is not saying of India, of this particular segment. It's the age. That's why Swami Vivekananda said, another 1500 years, this flow will go on uninterrupted. Meaning, it is a flow of spirituality manifested in this age out of compassion and suffering for the suffering of humanity. And Nirodhana Samahitamana, that Ramakrishna who is always in the Samahitamana. Anything, any discussion coming, Ramakrishna within short moment is going back into this mood of spirituality and he's losing his outer consciousness. How many times you find in gospel, you read the gospel, you find how many times he is going into that mood of ecstasy and he's almost outwardly breathless, he has no pulse, he's almost dead. That is the symptom. That's the Nirodhana Samahitamana. And Bhanjana Dukha Ganjana. He is the remover, Bhanjankari, Bhanjana Dukha Ganjana. Our all the terrible sufferings. By how? How? He takes our suffering. Thinking of him, our mind becomes purified. And when the mind becomes purified, it gets tuned to the consciousness where Ramakrishna can lift us. And in that lifted condition, all this dukkha, all this suffering of the world, it will, and which torments us, ganjan, it gives ganjana, dukkha ganjana. That ganjana, what it gives, it goes away. Dukkha ganjana, he can remove that. And he is the Karunaghana, ocean of compassion. Those who cannot come, he used to cry, like when he talks with Baburam and others, and used to say, why I am so restless for you, boys? You are not highly positioned in the world. That not that because you people will respect me, so many big people will come to me. Or you have no money. You are not rich at all. You cannot pay me one penny. You have no mat. A tattered mat you cannot give for my sitting. Still, why I am so restless for you people? Because Karuna Aghana, ocean of compassion, Karuna, love and affection to redeem us. That's why he's crying, going into the roof of Dakshineshwar. No, come, devotees, come. I cannot bear anymore to be with the people of worldly minded people. Come, who are pure in heart, come, I am waiting for you. So she cried and cried. That's why Swamiji said it is that Karunaghana, and engaged in the doing good to the world, karma kathor. So, Banchana Kama Kanchana. He is the embodiment, as I first mentioned, that where there is worldliness, he is not there. That's why Sri Ramakrishna's definition, you can say, you see in one's life, you see a person who is mind is turning towards God, purity, and worldliness reducing, you know that that person is moving toward Ramakrishna. In whatever religion, just see a person. If his character is becoming unselfishness, from selfishness to unselfishness, self-centeredness to the thought of loving others, caring for others, expansion of the heart is happening. In whatever religion, whatever person in the world, they are Ramakrishna disciples, because that characteristic will be manifested in them. That's why it is called Vanchana, Kamo Kanchana. That attitude will come. Then they will be in the world, they will earn money, they will keep everything, but their inner attitude is that they are their custodian of Lord's property, Lord's house, Lord's money. So they don't get attached to it. Vanchana. Then you know that it is Sri Ramakrishna worship is going on. So we worship that Sri Ramakrishna, who is the embodiment of all this wonderful idea. And ultimately he says, who is Ramakrishna? Jyotiro Jyoti. Bakko Manatito. Oh Ramakrishna, you are beyond Bakko, speech. Speech cannot express you. If mind cannot fathom you, Mana, Bakko Mana Utita. And you are Mono, Vachana, Ekotar, but you are the support. My mind is functioning because you are there. My Vachana, speech, and everything of me is possible because you are there as the substratum. And you are Jyotiro Jyoti. That's the Brahmanadi idea. You are the light of the light. You go inner light, more light, more light, all the obstacles go. Then what remains? Only light, 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 Jyotiro. And what is the light of the light? That means it is not the electric light. It is not the light of the sun. It is not the light of the moon. It is not the light of the stars and galaxies. But it is the light which shines, which makes the stars and galaxies lighted. That's why he is the light. Think of Ramakrishna to this degree. Look at anything shining. He shining, everything shines. That Upanishad says, Tasya bhasha sarvamidam vibhati. And then that is Ramakrishna, whose light shines through every light. That means he is the light of light. So Tasya bhasa, Jyotira Jyoti. And when you think of him, what will happen? This is the Ramakrishna worship. Ends. Ujala Hridi Kandar. The darkness of the cave of the heart, that will disperse. Ramakrishna said, as the sun rises in the early morning, all the darkness of the night gradually disperse. So as Ramakrishna arises in the heart, who is the Jyotira Jyoti, light of the light, and that will remove all types of darkness, and then end result will be only Jyotira Jyoti, Ujala Hridishan. Your heart will be shining with the light of light, that is Brahman, that is Atman, that is Satchidananda, that is the Ramakrishna. So we have to keep our mind on all these thoughts. Every day we chant this Khandana Bhava. We can take that as an example and utilize that ideas of Swami Vivekananda. Only we have to always look at a distant star. How? We have to look at a distant star through some telescope. That helps us to see which is at a distance, very small, tiny. It gives closeness to the reality. Our little mind is as purified as it goes on purifying, it becomes bigger and bigger. Its clarity comes, the more of Ramakrishna conception will be clear and clear. And then as Ramakrishna will manifest, the light of light will generate in the heart. This misconception, this hatred, this jealousy, this me and mine, all will gradually disappear and instead remain one unique consciousness, which is Sri Ramakrishna. It will lead us to the ultimate realization of the awareness about the divine consciousness, Satchidananda. So Ramakrishna may be worshipped we may start our sadhana from any level, but it can go gradually. Let it go on and on till it reaches the Jyotira Jyoti, the Satchidananda Jyoti, Alo, who is the light of all lights. And then that light is the light of Brahman. And there one gets samadhi, absorbed in that. So we have to open the heart. How? By worshipping Ramakrishna, this Ramakrishna, knowing that he is the ultimate truth is this. But we start our journey from here as we see and move towards the sun with sincerity and love. And then he will manifest in our heart. So thank you. We end here. Now, you have any question for a few seconds?
Swamiji, for a wonderful lecture. I would like the devotees, if you have any questions, if you can unmute yourself and ask the question, or you can post it in the chat box, whichever way you prefer. We certainly would like to get some questions from the audience so that Swamiji can answer your questions. Thank you.
Some faces I am still not finding. It's only Roop I am seeing.
Swamiji, you are muted.
I'm muted, no? I'm saying some of the Roops I am seeing only, no face and nobody.
Yes.
So
You,
please check yourself whether you are seeing yourself or not.
I would request everyone to turn on their cameras, please. You can.
Cameras are sometimes on, but the roof is visible, not the person.
Yes.
Hey, now Brahma is coming up. Okay.
So we'll wait for a few minutes and then.
You put the question.
There is one question that I would like to ask you, Shanji, and that is, we hear about the Vijnani philosophy, beyond Gyan, when he mentioned about Brahman and Shakti, and they are the same, one and the same. So, if you can say something about the concept of it being the same, there is no difference, beyond the just the Advaita philosophy and going into the same level between Shakar and Nirakar, or between Brahman and Shakti.
When we go to the Jyotira Jyoti, then someone loses himself in this ocean of light, ocean of joy, ocean of bliss. And if it remains there, there is no Vijnana or Ajnana, nothing, gone forever. But those who come back from that level, they are called Vijnanis. And that's why they see their vision totally transformed. They see, as our scripture says, they see the object as also you see that is made of Satchidananda. Like animal cookies, you place all the animal cookies one by one, side by side. So many cookies, so many animals. But it is made of the same dough. But we don't pay attention to that. For us, you are a person, I love you. That is another person I don't like. I find joy in keeping touch with this person. I hate this person. No? Because we are not seeing that it is made of the same element. So this is the journey when we are entering into the realm of real Ramakrishna. And when you read the Jyotira Jyoti, what we are talking about, hearing about, that time you come back from that state again into the body. Ramakrishna, going to Samadhi and then coming down from the level. When they come down from that stage, what they see? They see only the divine. He's saying, Ramakrishna saying that here is Latu, Adbhutananda. He is the young boy who is putting his hand like this. He said, I am seeing, it is Lord himself is sitting like that. They see it is made of gold and also the ornament. Yeah? So they see these two things. That's why there is no distinction there. For us, there is distinction. This is not Brahman, that is Brahman. This is ignorance, that is the knowledge. So if one moves in the direction, then ultimately reaching the ultimate goal, when they come down, they see the world totally transformed. That's the big Jnana state. Jnana, Ajnana, three state. Ajnana, Jnana, big Jnana. Ajnana, we are in Ajnana. Ajnana with the sadhana, if we move on, we get to Jnana. Jnana, intellectual knowledge? No. Then experiential knowledge, sadhana, etc. And there you lose yourself. That's your Jnana ends into that real Jnana, Brahma Jnana. And if after 21 days sadhaka can not come back from that experience, then he's merged. But after 21 days or in between 21 days who come back, they see the world differently. They see this, it is filled with Satchidananda. So that is the idea probably, Jnana, Vijnana and Ajnana. Okay.
Thank you. Chandanaji has posted a question on the chat box. Chandanaji, do you want to unmute yourself and ask, or should I read it?
Why I'm not seeing it here?
You can read it.
Okay.
Where?
In our everyday life, we do Sri Ramakrishna's puja without consciously thinking what we really want from him. We worship out of love for him. How do we understand whether we are making any progress? Is there any sign of our progress?
Yeah, very good question. Yes, we are all worshipping Ramakrishna. And out of love, we don't know all this philosophy, what we are talking today, or have not thought about that. But what will happen? What is the sign that I am really doing Ramakrishna worship? As I said, Ramakrishna himself told, if anyone thinks of me, he will inherit my properties, like a son inherits father's property. And what is that? Sri Ramakrishna said, Viveko, Vairagyo, Gyan, devotion, love, knowledge. This is the expression. Is it coming in my life more and more? Every day I am doing meditation. Am I feeling these aspects of viveka, discrimination, which is impermanent, permanent, what is the ultimate truth? This type of spontaneous idea will come. Life's experience gives us bitter experience. Every day we get so many blows from life. When they get the blows, do my mind teach? Oh, you are doing this. See, it is because you are moving in God's direction. That's why the world is teaching you something unreal. God is the reality. This is not real. God is the reality. Are you understanding that every day more and more? Is your heart expanding for others? It's selfishness is reducing. Attachment for these worldly things is lessening. Thing will be there. But my attachment is reducing. So these are the things to be understood as a sign of our spiritual growth. We will be godlike. The major thing is we will be sattiko, more pure, more loving, more caring, more forgiving. Anything happens, we carry those impressions in our mind. Why it has happened, this is bad, and we go on whole lifetime lamenting on that. This idea will go away. These are all flimsy things. Life will go end in 1.5 pound of ashes ultimately. And that time all this discussion is useless. Nothing will remain. Whatever you remember, good, bad, all will go. Only your awareness of the divine will remain. So this will be spontaneously developing in our life gradually. And so that means the good qualities, characters, and all the noble things, as is Gita says, in Sattiko quality will develop. As Sattiko develops, what happens? That type of, from Rajas to Sattva, Sattva to beyond, God in, and then who is really a lover of God, he will be totally absorbed in God and God only. Hmm. So these will be the gradual steps, and we can understand more joy in prayer. We'll be leaning. Narada Bhakti Sutta gave some ideas. Hmm. Tadevo avalokayati, tadevo srinati, tadevo kathayati. He will be interested in talking about God only. If you bring some worldly issue, he will not relish it. He may sit with you and talk to you, but internally he is not pleased with it. He wants to hear about God. He wants to think about God. He does not find much pleasure in talking garbage of the world. Enough we have done. Whole life we are doing. So in the morning, some people are there, they read every back cover to front of the pages of 32 pages of LA Times, New York Times, and this and that. Nothing, every step, okay, you earn so many knowledge. What next? Yes, we have to live in the world, we should know something what is going on. But the main thing is that higher yearning will come, values will change in life, where we used to think more, that type of thought will, uh, our direction will change. What is another thing
Yes,
coming out?
there is the next question is from Anindita. Uh, how do we get rid of me and mine when we do our duties and are accountable for them?
No, me and mine will remain, but it is to be made thee and thine. The ego will not go. Only you say, I am doing, we can say it is I am doing. I am doing means I am doing for myself. If I think, it is thought process that I am doing for Thakur. I am doing for Sri Ramakrishna. The work will be same, rather more concentrated work will come. So this is the attitude change. I think that is the one simple word will be change of attitude. Me and mine to thee and thine. And it is a lifelong process. It will not be. And also, even if you meditate on Ramakrishna, who has no ego, who has no me and mine, if we think of him, that characteristic also will come in us. If you think of an arrogant person, the arrogant qualities will come into your life. It is a very simple thing. As one thinks, so one becomes. No? So if we think of these noble thoughts, the negative thoughts will go away gradually. And me and mine will remain so long we are embodied being. But me and mine will take its corrected form day by day, as we move forward with sincere practice and sincere awareness, then things will improve, change.
So, just a follow up on this question. The thee and thine, is it like the child mother relationship that
You can do it in any relationship. As a devotion, you practice devotion, say thee and thine. If you are practicing Vedanta, I am the infinite. It's my body mind acting. I am not acting. I am not the body, not the mind. That's also egoless. You can do ego, cut your ego in both sides, in the devotional side one way, and in Vedanta way another way. That is how to get out of a tiny, puny, this ego, which is always with us, and it is difficult to overcome. Surrender, we sometimes say, oh Lord, I tried so much today to be egoless, but I could not. Give me strength, give me power. Man, as much we think of God, that purity will come, that egolessness will come. Because God has no ego. Is it like that song Nozrul? Kheli cho Bisholoe Virat Sishu Anumane. The Sishu, this child is playing. He has no reason and rhyme, no ego. But when the child is preparing the castle, very serious. And then when the time comes, throw away. No attachment, no ego. So this is the way to take so many moods and ways, whatever suits one temperament. Okay?
Here's one more question from Pranati. Swamiji said, ask mother day and night, Mother, give me manliness, no shakti.
Mm.
How will how we will be a perfect man to know ourselves, who we are?
Mm. Yeah. Manliness. What is manliness? Manliness is not macho. I am something. I can fight out. That is not my manliness. They are coward people. In the front of gun, all their macho will go away. Huh? You look at that, all the people who are creating terrorizing situation, he has one gun. When he's encircled by 10 guns, then he surrenders. His macho-giri goes away. That's not macho. But real egolessness will be in a different place. We really, that um, our manliness is, Thakur's words are very simple. Ramakrishna said, who is a man? Manhush. Very simple. So we did not have to go for any philosophy. Ramakrishna's words are there. Manhush, who is aware of his man, status, knowledge, position. What is my position? Oh, I am this guy here in this world. I have so much education. I have so much money. Yes, that is, of course, that is good for the world. But when we die, the king, billionaire, and me will be in the same, only 1.5 pounds of ashes. He may be put into a beautiful, what you call, $20,000, $30,000 casket, and I may be put into a paper basket. But when it put inside and switch on, it will come out the same 1.5 pounds of gases. So that is not the manliness. Manliness is that man means man, hush. We should be aware who we are. We are child of God. I am a child of God. I cannot behave like that. I cannot say like that. I cannot do like that. That is called awareness. Ramakrishna is simple, aware of your man, your stature, or your Brahman. That's the Vedantic way. Or you say, I belong to Ramakrishna. How can I behave like that? If they will look at me and say, oh, this is Ramakrishna. These people call upon Ramakrishna and they behave like that. They so selfish, so jealous. So is this Ramakrishna? No. That's why it should be man who's. We should be aware of our man, samman, grandeur, our greatness, our glory. And our glory is Ramakrishna. Our real glory is our Atman. Real glory is a Satchidananda state. So we have to lift ourselves in that level. Huh?
There is a second question from Pranav, and that is, Mother said, love everyone equal. Tuman bhalobashbe. How can we love everyone equally?
Yeah, how can we? We cannot love everyone equally because they are all mixed with Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas at the beginning. Where there is Sattika manifestation, I love it more. Tamas manifestation, I may love, but with resentment. Rajasa also with little difference. But all will be equal when you reach that Vijnana state. When you come back to the self and then come down again, then you can be equal. Before that, little distinction will remain. But Mother is saying, make that your goal. Sabaike bhalobasa. How will you love everyone? Unless you know that in you, everyone is my beloved Ramakrishna. If you can think Ramakrishna, that Ramakrishna is in the heart of that person who is misbehaving with me, then your real experience will be different. Your expression will be different. You will say, oh Ramakrishna, you are making fun with me this way. So you will be experiencing that is a different way. But when you think, I am separate, you are separate, you are creating all trouble for me. But suppose someone is creating some trouble very close to us, then if we can think, it is Mother, Ma Saroda in him and in Ma Saroda in me. The Ma is playing in dual role. What can I do? What will you do? You will smile at Ma or pray to Ma. Ma, don't play like that. No, it may be a spiritual journey then. If we can think, it is Mother is everywhere. So this everything goes down to one point. If we can divinize our attitude, then we can really see things. How Pawhari Baba could see God's messenger. He loves God. That's why when the snake is coming to bite, he's thinking, oh, the Lord has sent me his messenger. Huh? It is no snake. He's not looking at the snake. But take my life. I'll have to go home. So he has sent his messenger. Bite, and I'll die, and then I'll go with him. So it is the attitude, but it is to be practiced every day. First, make friendship with good people who are of similar-minded people. Try to avoid, even God is there, avoid those people who can create disturbance in the mind, who does not bring peace in our heart. To avoid them or love them from a distance with respect. And let you progress and become capable of handling this situation, that yes, you can see that everything is God's grace, God's play. Okay, thank you. So,
thank you so much.
A long time I spent with you. It is almost what time? 5:44.
We have 15 minutes to your time, 6 o'clock.
Okay. Acha, thank you all. So stay well. Mother bless you. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Nice to see you all. Nice to see you all. দেখুন আপনাদের টাইম থাকলে করুন, আর কত করবেন? রূপা করুক একটা করে কমই তাড়াতাড়ি করে ফেলুন।
Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Ram Krishna Sharanam, Sharadi Prabhu Ram Krishna